And welcome to another episode of Black Swan Diary. My name is Shane, and in today's video, I'm going to talk a little bit about what happens after we die. This is all taken out of the book of Revelations. So if you're interested in reading that book, I would strongly encourage you to read it. I know before, let's say basically before the Ukraine and Russian war started, I would rarely read the book of Revelations, especially not in its entirety. I would usually default to books in the Old Testament like Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Deuteronomy, that kind of thing, Daniel, the book of Daniel. I would read Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, the book of Acts. And then maybe once in a while, like glance at a few verses here and there in the book of Revelations. So I always thought it was a bit heavy, a little bit dark, a little bit violent, all this kind of stuff. Then, like I mentioned, because of this Ukraine war, I thought, you know what, maybe maybe we're getting close to the end times. And I know people have said that for thousands of years. And I thought, maybe it'd be interesting just to try and figure out who the Antichrist is and all this kind of stuff. And what I found, this is interesting, is the more you read the book of Revelations, the less you care about who the Antichrist is. I know I've made some bold predictions, but what's interesting is you actually get, it almost feels like you get the whole salvation message in the book of Revelations, which is kind of interesting. So what happens to us after we die? I know my father passed away a couple of years ago, really within 3 months of my wife's dad passing away as well. And this is something that comes up a lot at funerals, where sometimes people say that, your father, your mother, your aunt, your uncle is in a better place. They are running around in the fields in heaven and all this kind of stuff. And when you read that in Revelations, you actually it's a little bit different. It's a little bit different than what I used to think anyway, because I used to think that, when Paul talks about to be absent from the bodies, to be present of the Lord. But there's actually a little bit more to it than that. So what happens to us when we die? There's basically three categories, if you will. The first category is if you die of natural causes, other than being a martyr or other than being in the tribulation. Let's say you get in an accident, you die of old age, whatever it is, you just go to sleep. You go to sleep. So anybody that has passed away either recently or in the past 50 years, 100 years, 500 years, 1,000, 10,000 years, if we go that far back, you're asleep. Everyone's asleep. The next category is the people that are in the tribulation and they are being killed for their faith. That's an important thing to distinguish. So they're Christians, they believe in Jesus Christ, and they are martyrs for Jesus. Basically, people say either you, because you're a Christian, you're going to get killed, and this happens in a lot of other countries. It doesn't necessarily happen in North America, but in other countries, this has happened. Because you're a believer in Jesus Christ, you get killed. Those people end up instantaneously before God's throne, and they are basically, they're either worshiping God or they're asking God, when will you avenge us? Because John talks about this. One of the angels actually showed John, and John was like wondering who these people are, that there's just thousands and thousands and thousands, probably millions of people. Like you can't even count how many people there are before the throne. And they're basically, they're martyrs. The angel even says that. He said, these are the people that have given their life during the tribulation. And the third category is when the Antichrist shows up on the scene and demands people to either worship the Antichrist, worship his image that comes to life, allegedly, could be a fake, could be artificial intelligence. We don't know what that is. But there's an image of a beast. And depending which version you read in Revelations, it also says that this is a statue that comes to life. So, or taking the mark of the beast, worshiping the devil, the dragon. So there's a bunch of criteria for getting your head chopped off. Worship the beast, worship the dragon, worship the image of the beast, take the mark of the beast, whether on your hand, your forehead. And there's lots of debate as to what that is. Is that a physical mark? Is that a stamp, or they just stamp 666 on your forehead and stamp 666 on your right hand? I don't think it's that. I think it's going to be a little bit different than that. Maybe I'll make a video about what my thoughts are around that, the mark of the beast and all this kind of stuff. But so you have basically three criteria, and that pretty much handles everything in the world. So people that have passed away, including today, yesterday, 500,000 years ago, they're asleep. Because it says that in Revelations, where the first resurrection is when the people they get beheaded because they don't worship the beast, they come to life on earth. And they reign with Christ for 1,000 years, because Christ actually, one of the angels actually takes the devil, the dragon, and throws him into a pit with a chain, a lock and chain, and basically he has to be there, has to be chained up for 1,000 years. Then he gets freed. So during that 1,000 years on earth, it almost looks like there are people in position of judging nations, whether that's the disciples themselves, but the people that are martyred, that get their heads chopped off, are actually priests for 1,000 years. They basically, whatever happens, a new government created, whatever, by Jesus Christ, but Jesus will actually reign with them for 1,000 years. And then the final battle is basically the devil, when he's released, will again influence people around the world, and this time without the beast, because they have already been tossed into the lake of fire. It goes around, influences armies around the world, where they gather around the people of God and they try one more time. And this is where an angel actually takes the devil and throws him into a lake of fire, where the false prophet are, where the beast is. And that's it. And then after that, the bride of Christ will actually come down to the new earth, new heaven, new earth. Basically, the bride of Christ, this is kind of interesting, is the new Jerusalem, the new city of Jerusalem will come down onto the new earth. And this is where people will be able to enter. There's not going to be any more darkness. Basically, Jesus will be living with people forever and ever and ever. And the only people that will be able to enter Jerusalem is the people that have been received basically the white robes, which is basically anyone that has been martyred for believing in Jesus Christ, whether that's through the beast, not worshiping the beast, whether that's through the ages of being killed for their faith, all that kind of stuff. So, and then of course we have judgment, which I forgot to mention, which is basically a book. Some books are open. One of them is the book of life, the Lamb's book of life. And if your name isn't written in there, then you will not, you will be tossed into the lake of fire as well. So that's the second death. That is it. That's done. Basically, people just be in the lake of fire forever with the beast, the false prophet, the dragon, burning forever and ever and ever. And I know that sounds harsh, But maybe in another video, I will talk about the mercy of God. Basically, the mercy today is basically all you have to do is believe in Jesus Christ, believe that he is your savior, believe that he rose again from the dead, and don't take the mark of the beast. Don't do it. Don't take the mark of the beast, and you'll make it. We win in the end. So I know this is a little bit of a heavier video, but sometimes people wonder what happens to us when we die. So it doesn't matter if you're a believer or not a believer, you will be asleep. So when you die, it's peaceful. You sleep until the day of judgment, where again, if your name isn't in the book of life, that's where you get tossed into the lake of fire. I didn't write the book. I didn't write it. So that's it for this video. If you like this type of content, let me know. I can go a little bit deeper. Let me know what your thoughts are. And if you have any questions as well, put them in the comments. As always, subscribe. Tomorrow is a meeting with NATO. I believe all the nations are getting together to meet in Brussels. So that'll be kind of interesting as well. But like I said, when you read the book of Revelations, some of this other stuff goes on the side because you are waiting, you're longing to be with Christ. And you're basically cleaning yourself up because you want to be there. You want to reign with Christ forever. So if anything, this should cause people to be more aware of what they're doing every single day. And at the end of the day, there's nothing that we can do to receive salvation other than believing in Jesus Christ. Like I can't do a whole bunch of good works and all this kind of stuff to earn it, because Christ has already done that for me, for us, for those that believe in him. So that's it for this video. Let me know your thoughts. Like I said, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and I will see you in another video. Bye for now.